So to start, I'd love to just hear a little bit kind of about your relationship with the Strangers franchise. Because obviously there were the two movies that kind of came before this trilogy. Were you a fan of those, like before you signed on to this project? And what about kind of joining the Strangers franchise were you most excited about?
So I watched every horror film in my local Blockbuster as a kid because I just was obsessed with the genre. And The Strangers was that film that really stuck out to me. I watched it home alone for the first time. There's actually a clip of me somewhere on the internet where I talk about how much I love that movie long before I made these movies. So it's true, I promise. But I think originally getting The Strangers in my inbox, like Lionsgate, The Strangers trilogy, I was like, the fuck is this? And then I opened it and I read it and I was like, if anyone's going to remake these movies, it better be me because I love them so much. I'm gonna do my best to give them justice. And so, the format made sense to me. It's like I've always wondered what happened after Liv Tyler opened her eyes in the original film. And that's the
Mhm.
question we're trying to answer, or at least our own take on that with these movies. So we kind of had to remake the first one in order to get to how crazy it was for her to continue through the experience. Obviously, it's two different characters, but that's why we did it. It was kind of to like play around with, idealizing what would that look like. I was a fan of the original, a massively, massively fan of the original. So it's fun to have our own take, our own spin on this universe.
Yeah, totally. And kind of speaking of having your own take, I mean, I loved the first chapter, but I love chapter two just because it feels a little different. Like it does open it up to the rest of the world. Like it's a deadly game of hide and seek that's kind of going on through this whole town. And I was just really into it. So was that something that kind of surprised you when like you read the script for chapter two for the first time? Like how do you feel that chapter two is different than chapter one?
I'm so happy it is because I think you can't make three home invasion movies with the same characters. It's just completely uninteresting. And also, I mean, when I read chapter two, I was like, oh my god, she is in the woods the entire movie, literally fighting for her life. And I was excited. I think it's so fun as an artist to play, and some of the things I do in this film, I'm sure you can imagine what I'm talking about. I probably will never do again in my career. So I love playing. Like my job is to play as an adult, which is the coolest thing in the world. There's so much variety in these films, and I think also like the first one that we made is of course going to be compared to the original because it is the exact same format. This is such a different format that I think it will kind of transport audiences out of comparison and into a like almost escapism, a whole new world, which is what we're hoping for.
Sure, totally. And I've heard a little bit kind of about how you guys filmed these, doing all three at the same time. When I talked to Rennie Harlan last week, he said he would absolutely do it again. Like there were some challenges that came up, but he would do it again, no sweat. Do you feel the same? Like if there was an opportunity in your career to do this again, shoot three movies like this back to back, would you jump in again or was once enough?
It's different for a director than it is for an actor, my dear. For a director, I mean, you have to have a good idea, but for an actor, it's like you've got to really know what's going on. I think it was one of those things where I'm so happy I had the experience to do it. It was literally the biggest challenge of my career. It's very early in my career and I acknowledge that, so I'm sure there will be larger challenges later on. If it was for the right role where it really called for it, like Boyhood, where they had to shoot it because that kid was going to grow up. If it was like
Mhm.
integral to the story for me to do three movies at once, I absolutely would do it if I love the story. But I think in terms of this, like it was such a crazy behemoth that it's like a one-time experience for me. I
Sure.
have too
No,
much
I'm sure.
knowledge now to do it again.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. And Madeline, The Strangers 2 isn't the only thing you got coming out. I know that you have another movie, Maintenance Required, that's coming out right around the same time too. And I've seen the trailer. It looks really good. I can't wait. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of your character and what we can expect from that movie?
I would love to. I love this movie. It's so near and dear to my heart. It's about a young girl, Charlie, who runs an all female mechanic shop. And I mean, the funnest part to me is, if you can't tell, I love a challenge, and I got to go and like actually learn how to fix cars before I went and did the movie. And what a fun experience for me to like get paid to do that. Um, so it's about a young girl who runs a mechanic shop with an all female team, and she has a competitor opening up across the street who she can't compare with their prices. And so she's basically at this like David Goliath war with him while simultaneously in an online relationship with somebody who happens to be the person opening the shop across the street from her. It's very like you've got mail shop around the corner kind of themes, but it's a new and improved modern tale of that basically. But it's sweet and it's charming, and I like that we turn the trope on its head. I think oftentimes in rom coms, it's the man who doesn't want the relationship and the girl who really is chasing after him. And in this, it's very clear that like Charlie is the one who doesn't want the relationship, and actually Bo is trying to change her mind.
Sure, totally. It sounds great. I can't wait to see
Yeah,
it.
I'm so excited for people to see it, and I'm so happy to talk about it.